Your death threats to Grimace have all been returned.
Well, has the Shamrock Shake period been extended?
McDonald's is obviously a very successful fast food chain that spans the globe with more than 37,000 restaurant locations. But even the most successful companies get it wrong sometimes, and the folks at the Golden Arches are no exception. So on that note, here are the 10 discontinued McDonald's items that devastated us.
McDonald's.
Whack this jar.
Mighty Wings from a Clown.
Players can't stop talking about McDonald's new Mighty Wings.
He's gonna take my Mighty Wings.
Mighty Wings were a version of chicken wings, but not McDonald's only version of wings. The fast food chain also sells McWings at some of its international locations. Mighty Wings were first introduced in 1990 and were taken off the market in 2003. Mighty Wings were put back on the menu in 2013, but proved to be not so mighty, only lasting about a year. The fast food giant bought as much as 50 million pounds of frozen wings to launch the Mighty Wings promotion. McDonald's described these wings as having bold, spicy breading, but this boldness was not enough to convince customers that they had to have these wings. Some of the reviews from the time were favorable. Much like their little cousins, the McNuggets, customers had a choice of dipping sauces that included barbecue and sweet and sour.
Put a bunch of that blue cheese in there too.
But Mighty Wings crashed to earth after a short time because they really don't make sense in a world with McNuggets. One news outlet reported that McDonald's was left with more than 10 million pounds of the unwanted chicken wings.
I'm devastated.
If you really want chicken wings, there are plenty of places that literally make it their business to make great wings. Hot and Cold McDLT.
Could be the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever!
The McDLT from McDonald's was one of the fast food chain's better ideas. A fresh beef patty on one side, and cheese, cool lettuce, and tomato on the other. After you bought it, you put the two sides together and enjoyed the freshness. The item's downfall was the styrofoam packaging needed to make it work. Styrofoam packaging in general ran afoul of the environmental movement in the late 1990s, and so the McDLT was discontinued in 1998. As you probably know, styrofoam is barely used today, and a tasty sandwich was discontinued for good.
You're done.
With advances in technology, you would think McDonald's could make it work. Perhaps the most notable thing about the McDLT was the marketing campaign. It included a television commercial featuring a younger Jason Alexander of Seinfeld's sitcom fame, where the actor played George Costanza. This commercial is not very memorable unless you happen to be a fan of Seinfeld, but the McDLT was a good sandwich, and customers should have the option of ordering it. It's hard to believe our high-tech world hasn't come up with convenient packaging that can replace styrofoam and allow the McDLT to make a comeback.
Don't hold your breath.
Fish McBites. One of the commercials for McDonald's Fish McBites tells the viewer they will only be available for a limited time. Maybe McDonald's should have had more confidence in this bite-sized product and marketed it more aggressively from the start.
McDonald's new Fish McBites. Fishy, fishy.
Deep-fried fish nuggets made with Alaskan pollock and served with tartar sauce for dipping seems like an item that could work as well as the Filet-O-Fish sandwich. If Chicken McNuggets can be a big hit, then why not Fish McBites? One reviewer gave Fish McBites a solid review, admitting that he doesn't even eat fish, so this is a pretty strong endorsement. In the era of eating on the go, you'd think the bites would have ended up being even more popular than the classic sandwich, but that didn't happen. The reviewer's chief complaint was that the little portions are relatively expensive when compared to other fast food snacks.
I am not cheap.
The Filet-O-Fish sandwich has remained popular, and it has been around for decades, but customers can be fickle sometimes.
She's fickle, impulsive, spontaneous. God, what am I gonna do?
For whatever reason, most customers who like the fish sandwich could not embrace McDonald's Fish McBites. Szechuan sauce at Mickey D's? The story of McDonald's Szechuan sauce begins in 1998, when it was released as part of a promotional tie-in with Disney's animated movie, Mulan. Then, on April Fool's Day 2017, the Szechuan sauce was mentioned on the animated television series Rick and Morty.
And I'll go out and I'll find some more of that Mulan
Szechuan teriyaki dipping sauce, Morty.
According to McDonald's, this had been intended only as a throwaway line, but customers expected to get their hands on the coveted sauce, so the fast food chain released a statement promising that the sauce would be available on October 1st. Fans of the sauce inundated their local McDonald's, but the small supply of sauce quickly ran out. In 2018, some McDonald's locations reported that the sauce is available with the purchase of McNuggets. Now, with Disney's new live-action Mulan, the drama has started up again.
No time to talk. Now remember, it's your first day of training.
But this time, some are calling for the sauce to not be released in conjunction with the movie. Some believe a Chinese-themed condiment might be politically incorrect, but the reasoning remains obscure, as is the reason why people care so much about this Szechuan sauce.
Order chicken McNuggets. When I bite into it, you know what it's gonna taste like? It's gonna taste like home.
But if people want it so bad, how hard would it be for McDonald's to make a big supply of the little packets of sauce? Spanish omelet bagel. McDonald's short-lived Spanish omelet bagel feels a little like a clash of culinary cultures. But putting that aside, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
No bagel, no bagel, no bagel, no bagel, no bagel, yo!
The fast food chain has done very well with its traditional breakfast menu, including the Egg McMuffin, hotcakes and sausage, hash browns, and more recently, the McGriddle.
You know, a good woman is like a McGriddles.
Okay.
The Spanish omelet bagel was a fairly simple recipe of ham, cheese, egg, and of course, a bagel. Probably the most interesting thing about this breakfast sandwich was the creamy dill mustard. This sounds like it would provide an enjoyable, tangy flavor to the other ingredients. It seems like this would be a good seller, perhaps not as big a hit as the iconic Egg McMuffin, but still a success. The existing breakfast sandwiches from the Egg McMuffin to the biscuit sandwiches and McGriddles already provide a wide array of choices for customers. Unfortunately for customers who embraced the Spanish omelet bagel in 2000, they were to be disappointed. McDonald's was unhappy with the sluggish sales of this breakfast sandwich and discontinued it after a short run. Maybe McDonald's will try again with this breakfast sandwich at some point. Some customers pointed out that it wasn't spicy enough.
What? Were you saying something? Look, I don't speak Spanish.
So if the fast food chain fixes that issue, perhaps the Spanish omelet bagel could be a hit the second time around. McHotDog. Everyone knows that McDonald's is world famous for its hamburgers. The people at McDonald's seem to forget this idea when they decided the fast food chain needed to offer the McHotDog. McDonald's founder, Ray Kroc, had the right idea when he forbid the sale of hot dogs because there's no telling what's inside a hot dog's skin.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Despite the late founder's reasonable objections, the fast food chain started selling the McHotDog in some Midwest locations in 1995. They were discontinued after a few years and came back to other locations for a time. The hot dogs proved to be more popular in Japan, where they enjoyed a pretty good run. For some reason, the Japanese restaurants shifted them from the lunch menu to the breakfast menu. They are also popular at the Sky Dome Baseball Stadium in Toronto, Canada.
Hot dogs! Get your hot dogs here! Woohoo!
It's probably not a good sign for the McHotDog that the internet is full of memes devoted to this particular menu item. Many of them refer to the hot dogs as wieners and point out the comic possibilities.
Ask me about my wiener!
Some people say that there's no such thing as bad publicity, but there's a difference between laughing with you and laughing at you. The point is moot anyway, because the McHotDog has mostly slipped away and is only available in a few locations spread around the world. Bullish on the McJordan. McDonald's McJordan Special wasn't just one menu item, it was actually a value meal that consisted of a quarter pounder with cheese, with the addition of bacon and barbecue sauce, plus French fries and a drink. As probably the best basketball player who ever played the game,
Call me when LeBron has 6 championships.
That's your only argument?
It's the only argument I need, Sean!
It makes sense that McDonald's would want to take advantage of Michael Jordan's notoriety with a tasty addition to its menu. After all, New York Yankee baseball great Reggie Jackson had a candy bar with his name on it. Michael Jordan was a much bigger star than Jackson, especially in 1992 when the Chicago Bulls had just won their second championship in a row, and the NBA Dream Team was rampaging all over the teams at the Barcelona Olympic Games. This seemed like the perfect time for a Jordan meal. Even without Michael Jordan's name on this value meal, it seems like it would be a popular item at McDonald's. The fast food chain could have renamed it something else if it didn't want to keep the basketball star's name on it. What about the McBarbecue Burger or the McBowl with cheese?
Stop it. Get some help.
Bacon, cheese, and barbecue sauce are no-brainers, so there's no reason for McDonald's to not try bringing it back for another try.
Who's Michael Jordan?
Strawberry McFlurries forever. The McFlurry has been a popular addition to McDonald's dessert menu for a while now.
These McFlurries are amazing.
We've probably all had the fast food company's sundaes, fruit pies, and if you're old enough, the classic McDonaldland cookies that used to be included in Happy Meals. McDonald's decided it was time for a new McFlurry flavor, and they chose strawberry shortcake.
Strawberries.
Fresh strawberries and crispy pieces of golden brown shortcake sounds like it should be a winner. Unfortunately, this McFlurry was not to last forever. In fact, this McFlurry only lasted a very short time before being discontinued because of disappointing sales. This flavor of McFlurry just didn't get good reviews from customers. Customers stuck with the already popular McFlurry flavors such as M&M, Oreo, and Snickers. It seems like there should have been room for one more flavor, especially since strawberry shortcake is traditionally a popular dessert. Maybe if McDonald's had offered it only in the summer months when people tend to eat the tasty dessert, it would have done better. A seasonal treat makes sense in the same way McDonald's only offers the mint-flavored Shamrock Shake for a brief time in March around the St. Patrick's Day holiday.
Instead of the Coke, I want a McFlurry with extra Oreos.
McPizza. McDonald's has enjoyed a lot of success, but even the most successful among us occasionally take a tumble.
Would a grown man post sweet pics with straight-up fire captions like "pizza is literally life"?
Unfortunately, the fast food juggernaut fell flat on its face when it made the fateful decision to add McPizza to the menu in the 1980s. It's not that McPizza was bad, it was okay, but why make okay pizza when you're the #1 hamburger and fries fast food chain in the world?
You were the chosen one!
One drawback of pizza versus burgers and fries is that baking a pizza takes a certain amount of time. It usually takes at least 10 to 15 minutes to bake a pizza. McDonald's tried to mitigate this by bringing the pizza to your table hot out of the oven. But what if you intended to order it at the drive-thru? Today, customers would probably have the option of pre-ordering a pizza on an app and pick it up when it's ready. The situation just wasn't in line with the McDonald's philosophy of quick and consistent service. Even though a lot of customers liked the pizza, in the 1990s, the fast food chain decided that it wasn't working out and discontinued it.
What?
However, as of 2019, customers in the Orlando area could still get McPizza at their local McDonald's. McDonald's Onion Nuggets. Burger King has had onion rings on their menu for decades, but McDonald's experiment with a tasty fried treat called onion nuggets was not quite as successful.
Nice try, but only the king can do that.
McDonald's tried their hand at deep-fried onions using little chunks instead of rings. These little onion nuggets seemed like a good idea, especially when we know Chicken McNuggets became such a big hit. Onion nuggets were only tried in 4 test markets in the 1970s before the fast food giant decided they wouldn't be a hit and discarded the idea.
Oh my god, this is a travesty.
These should have had some potential for success. Maybe they would have had a better chance if customers could have gotten an assortment of fries and onion nuggets in one order. Fast food chains put out a lot of questionable items, but it seems like onion nuggets should have worked. It's too bad they didn't.
But I don't want to hear it because it hurts my ears.
Stay right here and tap that screen for another great video. Show us some love and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.